Kia ora. This is Kia ora Oz. Welcome to the channel. I'm Darren, and this is the continuation of a lap that my late wife Selena and I started in June of 2023. After her passing, I decided to continue the journey solo, safe in the knowledge that she will always be a part of my journey. Follow along and find out what it's like to travel this vast continent solo. Ka kite. Kia ora whanau, kia ora Oz, welcome to the next video. So in this video we're heading west, so the ultimate destination is Darwin, but we're going to head across on the Savannah Way, or parts of the Savannah Way that we can do depending on road conditions. So currently we're in Atherton, or to be more precise, in a free park just south of Atherton called the Rocky Creek Memorial Park Rest Area. It's a free camp. You can only stay here 72 hours and you have to be self-contained and catch all your grey water, which I've got a little portable tank that I use for that. Bit of pain in the arse, and I don't understand why, because it's all a nice grass area. You'd think they'd want water on the grass, but anyway, that's the way it is, so that's what you have to do. So we're in Atherton for a few days, or a couple of days. Greg has to get his car serviced, 20,000 kilometres, and I need to get the jockey wheel clamp on the front of the caravan replaced. So I'm heading in this morning to a welding joint or engineering joint, and they're going to cut the old one off and put a new one on. Why do I need a new jockey wheel clamp? Well, that's a bit of a sad story. So coming out of the Lion's Den, when we hooked up, I clearly didn't check the hitch properly, didn't follow my routine, and didn't follow my checklist. So bit of a rookie mistake actually. Anyway, the caravan popped off the hitch. Luckily it was just outside the camp, and it wasn't at speed and all that sort of stuff, but anyway, it damaged the jockey wheel housing. So yeah, I got to get it replaced. So anyway, bit of a rookie mistake, but I've done over nearly 40,000 kilometres now, so that's the only real major issue I've ever had, so, as far as stupid things. Anyway, Sam's fun fact. So the Rocky Creek War Memorial Park is dedicated to those who served at the Rocky Creek Australian Army Hospital, or troops that trained or provided unit support on the Atherton tableland area during World War II. So it's on the site of the second Australian General Hospital, Laundry and Medical Stores site at Rocky Creek, right next to the highway. Approximately 60,000 Australian soldiers were treated for war-related conditions at these hospitals by a staff of approximately 2,000. The complex was recognised as the largest military hospital in the Southern Hemisphere. There you go. Alright, so the van's already hooked up. I just need to square everything away inside here, and then I'm going to head down to the Tolga post office, pick up the new jockey wheel clamp and jockey wheel, and head to the engineering place to get it welded on. So while I'm waiting for the caravan to be fixed, or the welding to be done, just having a quick look around Atherton. And this is Chinatown Museum and Gallery. Unfortunately, it's closed. But yeah, it's a heritage listed temple and now a museum. Built in 1903, it's one of the oldest original Chinese temples in Australasia. This comes through to the town of Atherton. It's about 18 kilometres from Atherton. Coming in to have a look at the Atherton Historic Village.
Travel day today. So yesterday we did nothing basically except take Greg's car in to get service. It rained all day yesterday. It was bloody terrible. So took the opportunity to clean out the car and do a few things inside the van, but didn't do any filming. But today we're off to a place called Cobbold Gorge. About 5.5 to 6 hours away. So that's our next stop, and it's on the Savannah Way. So we'll be heading that way very shortly. Monday, of course, you all have seen I went out and had a look at the Atherton Historic Village. So Sam's fun fact: Atherton was discovered, or a guy by the name of James Adventure Mulligan headed into that area, the first European into that area in 1875, and he was prospecting for gold. But instead he found tin The town of Herberton was established in 1880 by John Newell to exploit the tin find, and mining began on the 9th of May 1880. By September 1880, Herberton had a population of 300 men and 27 women. So it was a big tin mining town right up until 1988. Alright, so we're going to clean up, hook up and get out of here. We are set up at Cobbold Gorge Tours and Accommodation. I think they call it Cobbold Village. Morena. So yesterday we came into Cobbold Gorge. We're here for 2 nights. Last night we just set up camp basically, and then had a swim. Well, I had a swim, and yeah, then just settled in for the night. So it was about a 6-hour drive. Some of it was on dirt road, not too much. But yeah, we got here without any damage, or actually lost the bloody middle shelf of my fridge again. So that broke, so I have to replace that in Darwin when we get there, like I did last time. So anyway, okay. So Sam's fun fact: Cobbold Gorge is Queensland's youngest gorge, formed approximately 10 to 14,000 years ago. It remained hidden for centuries, even to its indigenous inhabitants, until its discovery by Simon Cobbold in the 1990s. So it's a narrow, spring-fed canyon formed by the natural erosion and diversion of Cobbold Creek. Despite being located on a cattle property that had been farmed for almost a century, the gorge was hidden from view until Simon Cobbold explored the area in 1992. There you go. Alright, so we're heading out for a tour of the gorge in a couple of hours, which is I think about 4 hours long, and includes a boat ride up the gorge. Alright, so we will take you with us.
Rightio guys, can you all hear me down the back there?
Yep.
Okay, we're on our way down to our shelter. We've got about a 3-kilometre drive to head down there. We're just going to sneak through camp.
And of course, yeah, overlooking all the yellow flowering of the water.
Turn the fan on, bro.
We got the doors on, but it's good because we've got air conditioning in this helicopter, so I'll get that going too. On, off, all of these are down, disengage, off, on. Hopefully the dog doesn't freak out. Clear start.
Awesome day yesterday. We went out and had a look at the gorge, both walking in the boat down the gorge, and then we took a helicopter flight over the gorge. So yeah, it was cool. It's the youngest gorge in Australia, or in Queensland maybe. Yeah, it's only 10,000 years old. So yeah, it's just a baby apparently. Today we're heading out, so we're heading to a place called Normanton. We've got a free camp, or we're going to stop at a free camp on the river in Normanton for a night, and then we'll head into Karumba. So hopefully get some fishing done when we get to Karumba. Sam's fun fact, so this is a cattle station, and they
they exclusively run about anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 head of Brahma. But it's more a breeding station. So they breed the Brahma here and then sell off the offspring to other cattle stations. So the Brahman, B-R-A-H-M-A-N, is an American breed. Sam's fun fact is an American breed of Zebuine taurine hybrid beef cattle. So, yeah. It was bred in the United States from 1885 using cattle originating from India, imported at various times from the United Kingdom, India and Brazil. Alright, so there's all sorts of stock that they interbred to come up with the American Brahman. It has a high tolerance of heat, sunlight and humidity, and good resistance to parasites, and so it's been exported to many countries, particularly in the tropics, and you see them everywhere up here in northern Australia. So Australia is in Australia it is the most numerous breed of cattle, so there's more Brahman cattle in Australia than any others. Right, and it's been interbred with other bulls or other cattle in Australia as well, including Angus and some others, but anyway. There you go, that's the Brahman, and that's what they run here. Alright, so yeah, going to pack up, and we don't need to hook up because we haven't unhooked, and we're heading out to Normanton. We're in Normanton. This is the Purple Pub.
This is Keys, the largest ever crocodile authenticated to be shot or caught or whatever. Morning. So, yeah, yesterday we rolled into Normanton on the Norman River to a free camp beside the river. And yeah, came in, Greg unhooked, and we went in his car back into Normanton for a look around. Went and had a couple of beers at the Purple Pub, and then had a look at Keys, I think that's how you say it, the king of the savannah, the largest crocodile, or it's an artist's impression of the largest crocodile ever caught or ever shot in the world. Massive thing, over 8 meters long. Yeah, pretty sure if you had seen that in the wild you would have been packing it. Anyway, so we're in Normanton today. We are heading to Karumba, where we're going to spend the next 3 nights. So Karumba's on the Gulf Carpentaria, so looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some fishing in. Okay, so Sam's fun fact. The famous movie A Town Like Alice came from the novel written by well-known author Neville Shute. Neville Shute stayed at the National Hotel, the Purple Pub, in Normanton while gathering material for his novel. At the time that Shute was in Normanton, there were many more men than women. This is one of the characteristics of Normanton that Shute likened to Alice Springs, and thus the name A Town Like Alice. So Normanton is the town like Alice. There you go. Alright, so we're in no rush this morning. It's only about an hour away to Karumba, so we're having a leisurely morning, and then we'll be packing up and heading off to our next camp. The loop, the gap on my lap of Australia is getting smaller by the day, so stay tuned. Soon it'll be closed. Okay.
Hey Darren, I was checking the 360 app this morning and I had 33 accounts of dangerous driving and my highest speed recorded was 100.
Okay, we're set up at Karumba, at the Sunset Caravan Park. Really tight spaces, so it was interesting getting in, because last night Greg got out of bed to do something and stepped on the dog bowl and twisted his ankle or his foot or something. Anyway, he's hobbling around, can't walk. Lee had to drive. He did an awesome job backing in, and then I had to back in. Jeez, talk about tight. Anyway, we're here. Nice park. Hot. They got a pool, so I might come down for a swim in a minute. Savannah. Yesterday we did the short hop through to Karumba, and we're now at Karumba. Karumba is one of the only towns on the southern Gulf of Carpentaria where you can actually see the Gulf of Carpentaria because of the large mud flats. Sometimes it's hard to build settlements close to the Gulf. So yeah. So as I said before, we had some issues with Greg damaging his foot, and it looks quite severe, probably a ligament I would think. So he's hobbling around and can hardly walk on it. So we've made the decision that when we push out of here, we're just going to make a dash for Darwin. So instead of going along the more treacherous part of the Savannah Way, we're going to take a route down through Cloncurry, Mount Isa, and across to the Northern Territories to then head straight up to Darwin. So we should be 3 nights across to Darwin, I would think. Yeah, so it seems probably the best idea. We're booked into Big Four at Darwin for a whole week, and that should be enough time for him to recover and or go and get some medical assistance for his foot. Certainly I think he's going to need a blue. But anyway, these things happen, can't control them, so that's what we're going to do. Samsung facts. So given its access to the Gulf of Carpentaria, Karumba's economy has revolved largely around fishing, and the prawn industry expanded in the 1960s. In the late 1930s, the town was a refueling and maintenance stop for flying boats of Qantas Empire Airways. Number 43 Squadron of the RAF also operated consolidated PBY Catalina flying boats from the town between June 1943 and April 1944. Okay. So, given the fact that this will probably be the last of the Savannah Way, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully get it uploaded today, and then we might see how we go for the next video. It might be a couple of weeks away, but we'll see how I go. Okie doke. So until then, ka kite.